So, Damian Lillard has finally been traded from the Portland Trailblazers after, 11 years of being the Blazers franchise player and being, quite frankly, one of the greatest Blazers of all time. Now, I know throughout the offseason, the general consensus was that he was going to Miami. Um, didn't really work out for Miami. I would say they totally dropped the bag. I think what happened was Miami's front office, Pat Riley, whatever, maybe Eric Spoelstra, but probably mostly Pat Riley, kind of got blinded by his own hubris. He there was a lot of talk that Damian Lillard was going to the Miami Heat. There was obviously the Miami Heat is one of those very well respected franchises. They have one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NBA in Eric Spoelstra. And I think because of its reputation and because Damian Lillard specifically requested to go there, the organization got complacent and they just assumed and they took for granted the fact that Damian Lillard was going to their organization. And that was clearly a mistake because I don't think they pushed hard enough for Damian Lillard. I mean, their trade package, Tyler Hero being the best player, I think they could have came up with a better trade package for Dame, which may have swung the trade in their favor, which would have landed them Damian Lillard. Instead, I think they sat around, kind of gave a lackluster trade package, assuming Damian Lillard was just going to fall into their lap, and that clearly did not happen. So, in this trade, the Miami Heat are a massive loser. Now, let's talk about the Bucks, the team that Damian Lillard actually went to. This is a home run. The Bucks kind of came out of left field. I know that a lot of people in their hypothetical landing spots for Damian Lillard had the Bucks as one of the better fits out there, but I don't think anyone really knew that this was coming. This kind of came out of left field for sure. But it's a home run. I think it is a home run. I think Damian Lillard fits so well with what the Bucks need. Just that secondary creator who can create in the half court. All-time great shot creator. And someone with unlimited range, Steph Curry range, if we will. That just opens up the offense. And not to mention that Damian Lillard is also a great playmaker, kick-out passer, lob thrower when needed. Not an elite playmaker, but a very good one. Um, and he's now on the same team as one of the greatest rim runners that the world has ever seen, and play finishers that the world has ever seen, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, I think the duo, if I were to just guess, the duo of Damian Lillard and Giannis is going to be deadly. I think they're going to be very, very good. Now, defensively, yes, we have downgraded because we went from Drew, which, by the way, Drew was voted as the best defender in the NBA multiple times by the players themselves. That's how good of a defender we're talking about. Now, Drew did regress a little bit last season in terms of defense. He wasn't nearly as deadly on that end of the court last year. There was slight regression, but there's no doubt, there's no question that Drew was a better defender than Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard at times looks like a traffic cone. I'm just going to put it bluntly. So there is a massive downgrade in terms of the defense, but honestly, I think it's okay because Giannis is one of the greatest defensive playmakers we have ever seen in this game. And then as the last line defense, we got Brook Lopez, who averaged 2.5, something like that, blocks a game last season. DPOY candidate, manning the back line. So I think the raising of the offensive floor that Damian Lillard brings you kind of offsets the defensive liability that he is, especially considering how good of a defensive backline the Bucks already have in Giannis and Brook Lopez. So I think it's a win for the Bucks. Now, on to the other side, the Blazers received Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tumani Kamara. I have no idea who that is. And a Bucks 2029 first round picks and Bucks draft swaps in 2028 and 2030. Firstly, Drew Holiday probably not going to stay on the Blazers for that long. I'm assuming he might play a bit of next season, and then once he's built up some sort of value, possibly he's going to get flipped, or he's going to get flipped a little earlier than that. We don't really know, but I'm going to assume he's not going to be here. The Blazers are clearly in full rebuild mode, trying to build around the core of Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot, right? Scoot, who's just drafted. So I don't think Drew's long for this team. I'm going to assume that he's going to get traded. DeAndre Ayton, on the other hand, fits the timeline. So I think DeAndre Ayton could be a mainstay on the roster for years to come. Whether or not he's the second option or third option depends on how well Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson develop. So we'll see. We'll see. I think DeAndre Ayton is still good. He's not amazing. The motivation wanes. But I think as a third option on a really, really great team, I think DeAndre Ayton can play that role. I just hope that maybe with a new environment, DeAndre Ayton feels a little more comfortable, feels better about his situation and team, that he plays harder and works a little harder. That's the main concern. But we'll see. Next, Tumani Kamara. Literally don't know who that is. First time I've heard of that name. I swear I'm not a casual. I just really do not know who that is. And then the next interesting thing is the first round pick in 2029 and the draft swaps in the pick swaps in 28 and 30. I think those have a potential to be really, really good. 2029 is freaking 6 years from now. I mean, the Bucks could be really bad by then, right? 6 years from now, Giannis is going to be, don't know how old, let me look it up real quick. Giannis, he's currently 28. 6 years from now, he's going to be 34 years old. Now, he is an athletic freak, I understand, but we'll see how good he is by that year. And then Damian Lillard, let's see. Well, Lillard's contract, I don't even know. He's 33 right now. 6 years, he'd be 39. What's his contract looking like? Lillard contract. He's on a 4-year. Oh, okay. So his contract's going to expire in 2025. They may or may not extend him, but either way, like 6 years from now, we don't know if Giannis is still as dominant. We don't even know if Dame's going to still be on the team. So I'm going to assume that there is a very high chance that the Bucks are bad in 2029, which will give the Blazers a really good draft pick. Are there any protections on this? I don't know. Doesn't say here in this Athletic article. But if it's unprotected, I mean, that is really, really good. But even if there's protections on it, it's still a really good pick because there's a high chance that the Bucks are bad by then. Next, the Suns receive Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, Grayson Allen. I hated this when I first heard it. I think the Suns got fucking fleeced. I'm not even gonna lie. Ayton is better than all the players that they've received back, including Nurkic, in my opinion. So the fact that they lost the better player and got back a bunch of worse players in return, some of them may or may not even make the roster. I mean, Keon Johnson, Nasir Little. Keon Johnson probably, I don't know if he's making that main roster. He had a lot of hype coming out of college, but he hasn't done much in the NBA. Nasir Little at least has some potential there. I think Keon Johnson is not long for this league. Yusuf Nurkic obviously is the best player they've received back, but this man is a traffic cone on defense. Sure, he's an efficient post scorer and around that close to the basket score. He's good at that, but absolute liability on defense. I don't think his defensive limitations overcome his offense. I don't think his offensive efficiency in terms of post scoring actually overshadows his defensive liabilities. So I don't think that Yusuf Nurkic is going to help out the Suns too much. And then Grayson Allen's a solid role player. for the Suns. I still think it was hilarious how how the Bucks season ended on a Grayson Allen play where he didn't get a shot off. That was my favorite Grayson Allen moment because Lord knows he's one of the most hated players since college. I mean, definitely a dirty player in the past. I don't know if he's still as dirty now. So that is the full details of the trade. The Bucks, I think, A plus, A at least, A grade for the Bucks. Blazers, I would say A minus, B plus, and then the Suns just very not liking this trade. I'd say like a C or C minus. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Anyway, yeah, Damian Lillard is a Buck now, and as someone who's been following Damian Lillard since he was drafted in 2012, that this is yeah, and I have his jersey too. Anyway, good night. I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I have work tomorrow. Bye.